Come on. With a common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else are you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another live episode of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
And that's right, Hugo V says, I can see Lambo Land on the horizon. That's right, Todd Butterfield, the man with the plan, taking us all to Lambo Land. I'm Nick the Hitman Hellman here for your fundamentals and crypto news. We're doing our thing over here. Good to see you guys in here. Finally, we are seeing some green. Some people might ask, what does the title mean? The ultimate buy signal. Last Thursday, we had Forbes and CNBC teaching retail investors how to short. While we were live telling people that that is the sign that the bottom is in, we saw that massive green candle, and we've only been stair-stepping higher since. I think we're up $600 in Bitcoin, and a lot of these altcoins are even outperforming Bitcoin. So CNBC does it again, gives us all some gains. If you just do the opposite of what CNBC does, you're going to be good to go in this ecosystem. That's the number one rule of thumb right there. Now we have some things we're going to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about what's going on in the market. We're going to have Todd look at charts, ones that he's had his eyes on, and ones that you guys give us for advice. We're also going to be giving away some ZEN from last Thursday's live show. So if you haven't already, go over to that video. Leave a comment in the comment section with your ZEN address. Also, after this video is posted, leave a comment with your ZEN address because we will be giving away one ZEN Cash for tonight's show as well. Just make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. That would be awesome. We also are noticing on our YouTube trends that more and more of you are sharing our content, which is much appreciated. That is going to help us grow, especially in this bear market. Once this thing starts heating up, everybody will be flocking, and we'll continue to grow this community. We appreciate everything you guys do for us. And then lastly, we got some good articles here. We got Binance buying a portion of a bank in reply to Token Pay and the Litecoin Foundation. We got Block.1 EOS from EOS saying they are raising even more money from venture capitalists. I don't really think they need the money, but they're doing it, as well as some others. I don't want to ruin the whole show for you, but let's go ahead and jump right into this.
Who Flung Dung is in here with Gary O'Connell.
Gary's in here? Oh, man.
What a great... A few green bars, and we get everybody in here.
That is hilarious.
What up, Gary?
So we are at $270 billion. We're finally making a move. Bitcoin dominance is at 42.4%, so slightly down from the 43% it was sitting at, but still pretty high comparatively to the last bull run. Bitcoin is up 5% at $6,688. With really Bitcoin Cash leading the charge here today with maybe this start to the bull run up 9.65%, but still under $800. EOS finally starting to perk up after it was just sliding at 7.73%. We're going to talk a little bit about them with the show. Obviously, if you were an EOS holder on Binance on June 2nd, you did just receive some more airdrops over there. Now, I do have an interview with one of the EOS block producers tonight after the live show. I'm going to ask them if they're going to be doing a fresh snapshot, because the reason that we were seeing this whole pullback is they did the snapshot on June 2nd, then everybody sold, and right now, people like myself who sold, I'm still getting airdrops as if I'm an EOS holder from that snapshot. I want to know if they're doing a fresh snapshot for new airdrops, etc. If they announce that to the public, I can almost guarantee that this EOS price will spike as well, because right now there's no reason really to be a holder if I'm going to continue to accumulate all these airdrops from something I owned over a month ago. Now, big winners for the day, we got 10x up 45.78%. I have not really had a chance to look into what the news is on that, so if somebody wants to inform the community in the chat box, that would be awesome.
More buyers and sellers. That's what I think.
Dogecoin, the meme coin, is back, up 17.51%. And then MCO up 16.58%. So congratulations to the holders of these winning coins for the day. If you are trading or making some gains, taking some profits, congratulations on that as well. So let's go ahead and just toss it over to the charts real quick to Todd. Then we'll start getting into some of these tweets and news and fundamentals and see what's going on in the chat box.
I think we could see 6,900 Bitcoin here really quick, maybe 7,000.
Whoa.
If we do 6,900 while we're live, I'm going to give away a free course. So I think that could happen here in the next 30 minutes.
What'd you just say? 6,900 while we're live, and we're giving away a free course.
We do it before we sign off here in an hour.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
I think that'll happen myself.
If you want to check out the course, you have a chance to winning, go over to learncrypto.io and click on our store tab to check out our cryptocurrency trading course.
I think when 6850 gives away, I think it's going to be hop, skip, jump. So who knows? COV, I got that written down here, Hugo, because Chris K9 is in here and he wanted to go over that as well. So we are doing that. So we've got Bitcoin, 15-minute. We've been calling this 1-2 off the low. I still think it's exciting here. I'm bullish, but we talked about these 0.618 sell-offs on the way down to 57.50. And that looked good with Fibonacci, Elliott wave. We've had a 1 and a deep 2, and we had the 5 waves up, another deep 2. So I think you've just got the bearish sentiment is really heavy in these markets, but the price action is still looking good here, I think. So, blast through 68.40, I think really changes things if we can get that. So, and I'll be in the camp of saying that we're going to get that. Here's the Bitcoin Cash. Nick mentioned up 10.72. Getting ready to make a new high for the move off the low. That one looks good. Dash 246. Took out the previous rally high at 242. All these could get exciting with just a little bit more upside on them. Classic 1734. Lagging a little bit here, but a good chart here recently. And really even a little bit longer term. Ethereum touches 480. We've got a 496 or so to get through. Again, by LA Wave, these are 1-2s. Coming out these lows, we had some 1-2s. This should be the real positive action here in a wave 3. So if this is right, we should be able to just keep moving higher. Litecoin 83.20. Same thing there. Neo broke that support at 35, gave you numerous chances to buy down here on previous continued spikes lower with Bitcoin, and now maybe turn the tables. Ripple 48 just traded, touched 42.5 down there, almost. I guess really at Bittrex it touched though. I don't know whether it went through a new low or not, but getting a little bit better action there. OMG 748 got really weak on us, but trying to come back. And let's go over, Nick, you did top 5 coins to Coinbase? Wasn't that the title?
Yeah, it was like top 5 coins I could see going to Coinbase. I did this several months ago. Ton of you guys watched it. I think it had over 3,000 views. And number 1 we had on there was Ethereum Classic, which happened. I also had ZRX on there. Shortly after, they did buy Paradex, which is built on the ZRX protocol. Now they just announced that ZRX has a high, or not a high chance, but has an ability to get listed on there. They're looking into it. And then also Basic Attention Token. I've been talking about it, saying that it solves real world problems. Then I had it in my Coinbase video, and now that was also on Coinbase's list. And then lastly, they talked about XLM. And from day one, I have got some hate, I've got some love, but I said I prefer XLM for the micropayment sector over XRP. If you don't know, one of the founders and co-founders of XRP left Ripple, the XRP token, created Stellar Lumens to try to fix some quote-unquote errors that they thought that Ripple had with their with the way the token worked, because you don't actually have to use it on every single platform. And now that's an option for Coinbase as well. So I think we did pretty well on that video so far. Not to mention, they did not mention Bitcoin Gold, but Coinbase still holds all of their clients' Bitcoin Gold. So at some point, they will have to at least turn that on to reward all the people who had Bitcoin on GDAX and Coinbase. and possibly Bitcoin Gold still has an opportunity to get listed there as well. So, I mean, can't do much better than that, 3-4 months out ahead of time.
And I do have to shout out to Gary since he's in here, or otherwise we wouldn't shout him out. But he was on ZRX. He was on BAT. I think that was his two main ones that he thought was going to head to Coinbase. So, because he got me interested on ZRX early when we talked about it on the show here. So, I know he thinks the upside on that's $10. So, hate to give everybody your thinking, Gary, but that's what it is. So, the ADA's in front of you. Again, it got really deep on the wave 2. Now we're back here getting ready to take out the previous highs. So, that one looks good. BAT USD. We did talk about that down here. It was holding up extremely well here. They can say that Coinbase didn't leak that or whatever, but I know we was live here. I'm going to say it was right here on the 12th when Bitcoin was breaking down and it was actually trending higher. So somebody knew something there because I mentioned that it was holding up too well. So, a lot of these big trades can't hide themselves. Did you buy USD? That's one that's been holding up well. So that one still looks good. And then we've got EOS back to 806. That one showed a lot of weakness down there to 660, so I'm not sure on that one. But if Bitcoin's turned the tables, all these are going to work higher now. MAID came up to above 40. That chart still looks really good. The 4-hour looks pretty good as well.
Maybe look at co-vesting as well, since so many people were asking about it. And then also we kind of nailed some trades on that. I started talking about co-vesting after Chris K9, if he's in here, actually sent a $2 super chat for us to go ahead and take a look at it. After looking on it, giving it a little shout out on the channel, then I went on to tweet about it several times, the token economics that I love behind it. It was a $10 million market cap. It is now sitting at $24 million just 1 month later. And we've also, on last Thursday, I tweeted out a trade that hit it within 200 Satoshis, and it's just continuing higher and higher right now. Somebody is buying large amounts at market price.
There's XLM, a nice 1-2 there, and major strength. We're at the high for the move right now. And then we've got Z Classic, also in the news. ZEN 2217. One we continue to like. It's acting much better now. That chart looks good. And ZRX, $1.15 after doing over $1.20. That one looks good. So there is some bright spots here. And I think, the strong generals are the ones that's going to lead us higher here. That's all Wyckoff, and I think that's going to continue. Bitcoin 6,700. I think it could get interesting still here, obviously, tonight. And then here is COV. I know we talked about that back down here when it had the big run. Looked like a jump and a pullback. Nick was talking about it. I think we just said basically it should continue higher, and now we've had another jump, pullback, another jump. I'm going to say working on just another short-term pullback before it goes again. You can't deny that chart there. So let's go and look more at a 4-hour. Same type of thing. Kind of our pork blaster triangle, broke out of it, came back and kissed it again, off to the races. So I think that one's got to lead us higher. So, and when we come back, we'll go over a few more I saw roll by the chat. Yeah, Chris, I don't think you get it. I don't think you get an easy entry on COV now. I think right here is as good as entry as you're going to get.
Yeah, you're going to need some kind.
That's my opinion.
You're going to need some kind of poor news or something to get that to come back down. I mean, obviously, maybe a whale's out there and looking to take profit, or maybe Bitcoin starts turning red again and pulling it down. We'll see. I'm not adding to my position here, obviously. If it got down around 14,000 Satoshis again, if that's possible, I would look to re-add there again. But obviously that is, 2 leg hires ago. So I don't know if it's going to fall back down to that level. I did give out that price objective on Thursday if you watched us live and took advantage of that trade. Congratulations. It looks like Hugo V did do that. Obviously nothing on here is financial advice. We're just one big happy family trying to bounce ideas off each other and help each other out. What else we got going on in here? Lloyd Christmas says, hey, Nick, got my first Linda Masternode payment today. Thanks for setting us up on that, man. No problem. Their one-click Masternode is easy, super easy. And then Bard in a second wants you to look at TNC chart. Go ahead and write that down, Todd, to look at that. And then Crypto 420 wants you to look at VeChain. Now, this is one that we've talked about that we like, that it does have RFID technology, which is a real-world application of blockchain technology. It has been lagging today. So, theoretically, we say a lot, the ones that are acting strongly are probably going to lead us in the next bull run. Since this has been lagging, maybe it's just going to be 1 or 2 days behind. Maybe we can find a good entry there. We'll see what Todd says when he looks at that chart. Somebody over here is saying co-vesting, $100. Well, within 6 months, depending on what the market cap possible, but I'm targeting, if co-vesting hits around $10 or so, that would be very impressive. It has very similar token economics as BNB token. That's why I said I liked it, and that's why I was on it. Once Chris K9 made me look a little deeper in it. So shout out to you, Chris.
I don't think it can get over 95.
Let's see what we got going on. Let's go ahead and keep the positive energy. Let's do the Zen Cash giveaway from the live show on Thursday.
What?
We had less people watching on Thursday, so that means you got a higher chance of winning. Let's go ahead in here. Before we do that, I did do a recorded interview with Event Rabbit. The reason why I did this interview and I thought it was interesting is actually a project out of Nigeria and Africa. Obviously, it's nice that blockchain and cryptos are spreading globally. We don't see a lot of projects out of that area, so I wanted to hear them out. They have a very in-depth team. They have about 10 individuals over there. The interesting thing is they are an ICO, guys, so keep that in mind. But even if you don't like investing in ICOs, maybe keep an eye when it comes to exchanges, because a lot of ICOs want you to give them money for an idea and a vision. Event Rabbit has actually already been building for 8 months, already has a working application that has already gone through live testing by various event organizers. So they already have a working product. They just needed a little extra funding, obviously, to start paying back some of the developers, get the iOS app finished because they got the Android version finished, and then also for exchange listing fees.
Bitcoin?
Which we all want exchange listings. What is it, blowing up over here?
6720.
Uh-oh, we might be giving away a free course today, too.
New
Todd
highs
said,
for the move.
break 6,900. We're giving away a course. All right, let's go ahead. We'll load up this video here. Give away some Zen Cash. Flip that off.
Hugo got some COV at the buck. Nice.
Yeah, he said right at 14,000 sats. That was our buy price. Went down to 13,008 and boom! Exploded. Pork blaster to the moon. All right, we got 48 unique commenters. One of you will be the lucky owner of one more Zen Cash because I know you already own some.
Worth $200. Well, will be worth 200.
Joshua Berman.
Whoa.
I use Brave browser on Android, Mac, and Windows. They recently added Tor integration. It's great. Use the link above to support the channel. Well, shout out to you. We do have a link for the Brave browser if you're interested in playing around with it in the description of our video. And right now, Brave is actually incentivizing the use of BAT tokens by giving you guys $5 of free BAT per month that you then can give to any channel, any website that you would like. So shout out to you, Joshua. I will send you your Zen right after the live show, or maybe after the interview with EOS.
Who flung dung?
Estaj was the bear of this channel, let's say that to be the least. But I think he's coming around because he sent me this chart. He said, possible the best investor play of the decade. The top chart there is the NASDAQ chart. Look at that bad boy. We see the massive crash in 2008, 2009. Now we are riding high. He's saying take money from the top of the NASDAQ, put it into this bear market that we've been seeing in cryptos, and that you probably will be pretty happy. Now, we're not saying take all of your traditional finances out. At least for my traditional job, we would probably recommend take 5% of your investment portfolio, move it into cryptocurrencies, and I think you will be a happy camper looking back 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. And really, the next bull run could still happen by the end of this year, guys. If we go on a bull run, I do believe we will break all-time highs on Bitcoin and on the total market cap of cryptocurrencies in general. I think earlier this year I was predicting 1.5 trillion by the end of 2018, and Todd was looking at 1.3 trillion. I think the all-time high was right around 850 billion. Those wallets would be getting fat, especially since we've been talking about mining, staking, master noding, secure noding. We're all starting to get really deep into the crypto and make that passive income.
And then can I have the chart for one more time? Because I got to I've shown this many times before, but I managed stock money, and this was Amazon 10 years ago when the markets crashed. And I took 40, 50% losses on some Amazon, lost some good accounts because they couldn't believe I was down 40, 50% on a trade. And it was for long-term buy hold. I lost some big accounts, and you can see what it did after that, which could be the same thing that's happening in some of these crypto coins. Everybody's talking about being down 50, 60, 70%. And if we're starting a big bull market, this will probably 10 years from now be a lot of charts we've been looking at. I mean, that's that coin or that stock went from 50 to 1800. So that's a 36 times.
And really all it is if you believe in something, you've done the fundamental research and the chart is looking good, don't get all caught up in the short-term price actions, guys.
It's all about whatever time frame you're working on.
Yeah, and I know a lot of you have just got into Bitcoin maybe a year ago or maybe at the highs in December, but look at the historical charts. Talk to people who have been in the space for a while. This 70% retracement is nothing out of the norm. Bitcoin's had 85% retracements. It's had 50% retracements. It's had 30% retracements. It has to happen. Markets are cyclical. Nothing can go straight up forever. People will take profits. Sentiment will change. But if it is really starting to become a new asset class, really starting to have real-world useful applications, this is just the beginning. The bubble has not even started, guys. This is just the beginning.
And then I would say on this chart in front of you, I mean, if you're short-term trading, if we see 6,400, 6,450, that's probably not good for the short-term bullish case. Now, does that mean I'm going to get out of long-term positions? No, I'm probably not. Am I going to trade? I'm not sure. I will a few people possibly with big Bitcoin positions or something, but that'd be disappointing on a short-term basis. For a longer-term basis, it's probably just a chance to try to accumulate some coins again. So you got to know what time frame you're on. And I mentioned here, I don't know exact levels, but when we was down there, I was mentioning that if you want to take extra risk, you could have bought this break with a stop on some of those coins. So if you did that, yeah, you got to raise a stop up to break even, small profits, and then see what happens here. If you're looking longer term, shoot, just keep adding money and get ready for the ride.
Temple Ray says even KuCoin shares went up to $20 with a way bigger token supply than co-vesting. That is true, Temple Ray, but you also got to keep in mind that was at, $850 billion market cap. We're only at $250 billion right now. Also, that was when there was less competition. At that point, it was really just Binance and KuCoin who were doing the token economics. Huobi token's pretty new. Co-vesting is new. A lot of other exchanges are starting to try to mimic this the token economics that some of these are finding so much success. So that sector may diversify a little bit. Obviously, I still like co-vesting, but I don't want people to get their hopes up for a $50 or $100 co-vesting. I'd be more than happy if co-vesting caught on, got some volume, people wanted to start doing copy trading, and then it got to a value around $5 to $10. I mean, that's huge. We'll go from there. I'm not the type of person who wants to push FOMO and put out massive price targets on these coins 1 year from now. I'm looking at what can you get in now to make a quick buck, and then what do I think has good fundamentals for maybe end of year, etc. Somebody is saying they're looking at taking profits at 6,800. Scott, we would be careful because our number is 6,850. If 6,850 is broken and closed above, we really think that we will move the next leg higher. So taking profits at 6,800, that's right on that borderline, and you're kind of betting against that we break that 6,850 level. So
there's always two sides to a market.
All right, let me steal this. Get through an article. Wrong button, but definitely the perfect button for what we think we have coming ahead for us. It's like right above my screen button. I'm going to talk about a few things, and then all these charts you guys are throwing out, Todd will look at, VeChain in particular. So, global investment management company BlackRock is reportedly mulling a move into Bitcoin. Now, I can't even think of his name right now, but the founder or CEO has come out and said, oh, well, not really, really don't have much demand for cryptocurrencies, blah, 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 pulling the JP Morgan move. But we do have a quote here that says, quote, we see cryptocurrencies potentially becoming more widely used in the future as the market matures. Yet for now, we believe they should only be considered by those who can stomach potentially complete losses. Similarly, blockchain needs to overcome significant hurdles to reach its promising future. BlackRock, if you guys do not know, is the world's largest asset manager, having $6.3 trillion and assets under management. So when people tell you, man, the 800 billion, that was a lot of money, cryptos were overvalued, that was a bubble, we're heading to 2000, don't take for granted how much traditional investment money is out there. BlackRock alone is $6.3 trillion. What is the gold market worth? 5 trillion, 10 trillion, something like that. If you start talking about fractions of that money coming into crypto space, that would be ridiculous. And when new asset classes come, financial advisors usually recommend a 3 to 5% holding in that asset class branched off from your traditional investments. That could be big. We'll see what happens with BlackRock moving forward. I know that their CEO is trying to tamper some expectations on crypto, but that's just because they have been slacking and they're not ready for crypto. So they're trying to do everything they can to keep these things accumulating until they can get their own personal infrastructure set up so they don't miss out.
Don't want to run on them.
Exactly.
Chasing that shit.
Another quick thing I want to talk about before we throw it over to Todd is this. Coinbase is at it again. Coinbase says it has the green light to list coins deemed as securities. Coinbase Inc., one of the most popular cryptocurrency platforms, said it got the green light from U.S. watchdogs to move forward with a trio of acquisitions that will allow it to become one of the first federally regulated venues for trading digital currencies deemed to be securities. Now, I'm not going to read all this, but why does this excite me? Now, if this does happen with Coinbase, I think the Coinbase listing effect does get tampered down. But what this tells me is if the SEC is approving all of these purchases and saying that Coinbase is going to be eligible to sell securities, what leads you guys to believe that the ETF will not be approved in 1 month from now? The CBOE, a well-recognized name in the traditional finance ecosystem, applied for an ETF after watching 3 successors fail, fixing all the failures, listening to what needs to happen for an approved ETF, and now we see that U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved all of these acquisitions, telling Coinbase they can sell cryptos even if they're securities. I think our thought all along that we were saying the ETF will be approved just got a little stronger. What do you think on that, Todd? Do you think that's even more bullish towards an ETF approval? They're saying, hey, that's fine. Make those acquisitions. You can sell security tokens as long as it goes through our regulation and we get our share of the pie.
I think the ETF gets approved. Because we've had the futures trade, there's been no issues with them. We've got custody issues being taken care of. The CBOE's got everything figured out with that. So I don't think they can find a reason not to do it. Unless the institutions don't have enough crypto yet and they want some more time to accumulate.
That's what it's all about, guys. Don't let them take your bags. Keep accumulating your bags now. We've been saying this for the past month that we really think we're right around the bottom. When we put in, what was that bottom down there, like 5,500 or something like that, 5,800?
5,740.
So
I guess it was.
You had your opportunity. I just know how it felt for a lot of people last year. A lot of my friends, etc. I was like, hey, you need to buy this, you need to buy this. You need 1,000, 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, 12,000, 20,000. You're begging for $7,000 Bitcoin. Here's your opportunity to get a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of altcoins at even steeper discounts. So, I mean, if the fundamentals are right, those are the ones you should be buying.
Tone Vase says even if we get approved, we're still going to 1,300 before a bounce. Wow.
I said live on the show, and I'll say it again because I just don't think that's going to happen. If Bitcoin went to $4,000, I was going to take a mortgage-backed loan on my house and bring the paperwork here live on the show to prove that I put it all into cryptocurrency. Because when we do things on the show, when we make trades on the show, we show it. We don't say it after the fact. And I stated that. I'm not going to go back on my word because I think that would be the deal of a lifetime. So if we're going to 1,300, man, I might have to sell another house or something. I don't know. That's ridiculous.
And I'll tell you something. I don't know Tone Vase that well. I mean, I guess he doesn't trade anymore. He just does conferences and videos and stuff. But it's a whole different thing between trading and talking and not trading and talking. So, you know, it's easy to talk when you don't have positions on the line, you're not managing money, or you don't have to, you know, let the whole world see what you're doing. So,
you have a couple charts you want to toss out over there?
If somebody's not trading and don't have positions on, I don't think their opinions mean too much. So, yeah, I've got the crypto software up I want to talk about for a minute. We're still having some issues trying to bring in more pairs, etc. But this is the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index. You see WWCI in the background. So I will say you can see the big volume coming in here when we made the 5740 low on Bitcoin. So we had some pretty good down bars. You know, this was a pretty big sell-off. This was at 0.618, less sell-off, so still big volume, but didn't knock it down as much. Then we come down here and test the lows. No selling came in down here on the test. And then we had a pretty good rally with some decent green bars to the top. And we came back down again, was selling the other day. Didn't bring out any massive selling. Another red day, volume did not come in. You can see here on the OP, we went to new lows the next 2 days. Volume once again showing green, but really those were negative days, so no big volume. And then today we come out with some decent volume trying to turn things around. So we're not out of the wood. I mean, technometer came down here to 40. The force is turning higher, so I don't think we're out of the woods, but I tell you, I don't think it takes much to put the downside away and get something really going. And I think it's at 68.40. We need to get above there and finally get some volume to come in. But I think volume will probably come in if we take out that level. So, and then let me look at TCN, or it was TNC, I believe.
Yeah. Gary's saying Dig Coin looking good. There is, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Is his name Ross? Who has a paid group or something that's been talking about Dig for a while. Obviously, he's seeing Dig going to 40 to 60. It is having a pullback. The one thing I would worry about with Dig, as I did the research on it, if you believe in the mining industry, you are getting some kind of residual income, kind of like a staking reward for a certain amount of the percentage gains off their mining equipment, which is great. Not saying anything wrong with the coin. Obviously, he's a fundamental guy too, so he's looked into it. The one thing I would say that concerns me is the exchange risk. It is only available on a very small exchange with very small volume.
Right.
And from my knowledge, I don't even know if they have their own proprietary wallet or are available on any safe hardware wallets right now either. So you guys have to be careful with that project. I might dig it a little deeper because so many people are asking about it because he's over there on Twitter spreading that, and I know he has a lot of clients, etc. It hasn't had great price action so far, but the exchange risk is pretty high on that project right now.
So Gary's mentioning Dig. He hasn't ever said that to me when we talk. We need to talk about that one, Gary. And Crypto 420 watches Mr. Negative because his hot assistant, Leah. That's funny. I think we got to get a hot assistant on here so we can get our subscriber base up. Here's TNC. Can't say much here. I mean, that's way too much weakness for me, really, and then we're not doing much off the bottom. I guess if you go to a 10-minute, look at the bottom, we're still sitting down here, so I can't get excited about that one yet.
And from a fundamental perspective, this is Trinity Network Credit. This is the scalable sidechain solution for microtransactions for the NEO blockchain. If you're bullish on NEO and microtransactions, TNC should see some gains eventually, but it's kind of just falling off the map. They're not really pushing forward with utilization because this is a type of coin that utilization on the network is going to directly drive the price, which just isn't happening right now. There's not as many people trading. There's not as many people using. Maybe as more users get on there, we can see some better price action. Also, if you look into their white paper, they're actually going to be building in some, we'll just call it contraptions for easy purposes that will artificially reduce the price on that coin. So kind of limits the upside potential because if the price gets too high, it kind of loses its purpose, which is for microtransactions and is a scalable sidechain solution. So obviously they're not limiting that anywhere down here, but eventually, say we get to 5 trillion, TNC will be capped based on their current development. Something to keep an eye on.
Here's VEN, a little weaker than I would have expected, but I think probably still a good coin. That's VEN USDT, and then let's go back to BCN USD. And that's the 15-minute. Let's go out to the 4-hour. I mean, that was a big run here, which was impressive, but then unbelievable fall back again. So, I think if you're going to hold that one or buy that one, I think it's time to do it now to see if this Bitcoin can finally put a low in. But that's an extremely volatile coin.
That's not one that I prefer.
Extremely.
Jay Stevens says, is anybody holding TRX? Todd, will you look at that chart?
TRX.
They do have that cryptic partnership coming out July 31st. So if they start hinting at that over this next week, and then the partnership actually ends up being decent, this could be a good opportunity at buy the rumors, sell the news, and also might see some gains if this market is turning around. I currently have a small position in this because I told you guys last Thursday that at these lows, I was interested only because Tron has historically been a great trading crypto, and they finally might have a real developmental partnership. And since they're trying to do it cryptic, kind of like Verge did with Pornhub, I think we might see a massive run out of here if Justin Sun does his thing with the marketing.
I don't have any comment there. I mean, the markings I have on here aren't too bad. I mean, it came really deep with Bitcoin here, but looks better than a lot of charts. So. And I got to go back one more time to Amazon. Just remember, guys, these are 50, 60% sell-offs right over here when in 08 when the markets were not doing well. So that was a horrible time to be long Amazon. Horrible time. And what? Palm Beach is talking about the same type of thing, right? And those guys are pretty smart.
They're saying they also believe, about 2 days after me and Todd came on here, we had that whole show where we just ranted for like an hour. It was like a 2-hour long show almost. 2 days later, Palm Beach came out and said that they believe that the ETF for sure will be a reality, especially with the CBOE branding. On top of that, he believes that this is the call to action to buy now. He sees 10x just from the ETF.
Whoa.
That's no other infrastructure. That's ETF comes out. We get that hype cycle. Plus now regular 401k investors, institutional investors have the Coinbase stuff and the ETF. Bitcoin goes to $65,000 now. Whoa, that's crazy. I'm looking for a $1.5 trillion market cap. That'd probably put Bitcoin around $40,000. He's saying $65,000 immediately with ETF.
Right.
That's crazy.
Chain. He's smoking some 10x stuff. What up, M
Smoking
Flow?
some 10x stuff. Yeah, that's a little crazy. Do you have the traditional stock software up? Somebody said, did you guys see the Netflix stock chart? I know it got hammered off hours like 15%. I don't know what it's done since then. Obviously, we were set up for the live show, but right when that thing went off, it went down 15% after their earnings announcement.
I mean, there's Netflix coming out of that 91 base, clear up to 423. That's been a big shorted stock, etc. That's going back to July 30th, 2015, 3-year chart. If you do a 10-year, understand when I bring up a 10-year chart, it's loading 5-minute data for 3 custom indicators. So there's the 08, which you can't even see on here, basically. That was setting at like $10. So that's a 40 banger. So that's, who knows? We're all guessing here, but, this is, I remember the internet, back in the late 90s, so. And Amazon and some of those things wasn't even, they weren't the first to it, and they just figured it out.
Let me go ahead and steal a couple more for these news articles, and then Jay Steven wants you to look at Square with that software you got there, since that is kind of cryptocurrency related, with them now getting a good adoption push with the addition of Bitcoin over on their platform. And Chris W says what we've been saying all along, I'm sitting here worrying about $200 to $300 from where I'm buying, but if we had $45,000, that won't even matter. And that's what we've been saying. We have a crypto private client group, so we have a lot of individuals which we help manage their crypto portfolios using trading API keys. A bunch of people ask me fundamental questions, a bunch of people asking Todd chart questions, worrying about $5 here, $10 here. If you're getting in the coins at a decent dip for this time period and the fundamentals are right, this is going to be a mere blip on the chart once again. I want you to take the time after this show, pull up the Bitcoin 10-year chart or 8-year chart, and I want you to zoom in on the other pullbacks. Tell me what they remind you of. A lot of this massive dip, and when you zoom them out, you go to a 3-year chart, then you can't even see them anymore because the price action is so much higher right now, exponentially higher. And we think that we are priming up for another opportunity like that with Bitcoin and some of the stronger cryptocurrencies. Now, we do say almost on a daily basis that a lot of these vaporware coins will go to zero. That's just a matter of fact. That is what's going to happen. That's what happened historically in all these other asset classes with the internet and .com bubble, etc. The real thing is there, if you start having these projects go to zero, that money, as people are selling, will go somewhere. And that's going to go into the top projects, pushing them higher, and the solid new, we'll just call them startups that are coming in the crypto space as well. So you're going to start losing, having less currencies available while the market cap is going higher, which is just going to set these things on an exponential rate of growth with their chart patterns.
I can't show you Square. For some reason, I've got Square and Overstock on my trading desk, but it's not showing on this one. So I think I've got to clear out a cache or something. So I cannot show you Square from this seat.
So Binance Exchange is kind of fighting back against Litecoin Foundation and TokenPay, who, if you guys didn't watch on Thursday, did buy a 10% share in a bank out of Germany. Binance is saying, okay, that's cool. We see you. We're going to do our thing. They went ahead and purchased a 5% stake in what is going to be called Founders Bank. Founders Bank will have systems based on blockchain technology and will partner with fundraising platform New Fund in an issuance of its own legally binding equity token, according to Binance. The bank is hoping to obtain a license from the EU states government in order to officially operate its business. If approved, the bank will be the world's first decentralized and community-owned bank, as per the report, with token investors effectively being direct owners of the bank itself. Binance CZ did come out and say that their move is very similar strategically to TokenPay and Litecoin's Foundation, where they want to create ease of use for consumers to get integrated into blockchain technology and the use of cryptocurrencies moving forward, especially as we're seeing cryptos go more and more mainstream. Some of the news that we see today, this is what I want you guys to think about. Some of the news that we see today, if this news would have came out during the bull run, back in November, September, October, what kind of price action would you see on some of these coins? ETC getting added to Coinbase. Look what we saw out of Bitcoin Cash. That thing went to $3,000. Litecoin acquiring a bank. What do you think that would have done during a bull market? You need to start taking in all the news we talk about on a daily basis. Put it in a frame, get in the frame of mind of what will this do when the bull market turns around, and start buying those fundamentally sound cryptocurrencies and those projects that are strategizing day in and day out to be ready, because they believe that crypto is going to explode and hit mass adoption as well. Those are the ones that you need to be buying. We try to present those to you, and you guys try to present us with a bunch of good ideas as well.
There's EOS Detroit commenting. Gonna jump on the show with Nick. No, we got that one coming.
Perfect.
Encash, not much to say about on that one. Starting a little slow off the bottom. ONT, same type of thing.
EOS Detroit will probably, after the live show, just do a recording via Zoom. I'll send you a link on Twitter. That way we can have a good in-depth conversation focusing on EOS and what you guys are doing as a kind of a block producer for them. Kind of hear your pros and cons on EOS, why you got involved with them, etc. Obviously, I'm kind of going over the overview here, so some of the people that in the live chat will be the first to know about this getting posted probably tonight or tomorrow, and get excited about some of the information that we hopefully can get from you over there in the interview.
There's Encash dollar. Not much to say there. Been really weak. Needs to get off these lows here with the rest of these coins, I would say. TKY, someone. There's TKY BTC. Four-hour. I would like that spring action. Nice rally off of there and a pullback, so I'd be long that with a stop at this low probably. That'd be a 33% stop or so. That's if you're bullish looking forward. There's DBC, BTC. Not much to add there. I don't know that one. What? Hold on. ICX. I know there's not much there either. ICX. USDT. Let's show that one. Trying to rally off the lows here, so I would think the worst is over there as well. But I am bullish. So.
And then can you look at Kin? We got somebody new in here who says, I just joined. Do you guys have an opinion on Kin? We'll have Todd look at the charts. From a fundamental perspective, it's interesting. I really didn't look too much into it. A bunch of the community members approached me to look into it. And now Kin is actually doing some crazy bounties for developers, really trying to move their products forward, which I think could cause a bright future for Kin. Now, the problem is there is a massive supply, but we all know during the last bull run that a lot of people did have unit bias in this ecosystem, meaning that if they can spend $100 and get a million of something, or $100 and get one Litecoin, they were going with the Verges, the RDDs, etc. Will that happen again? I'm not sure, but I will say with these bounties Kins is doing, I think they're going to have some good development announcements coming soon.
There's Pay that Taj just mentioned. That uptrend gave away, so I mean, there again, I think the low's probably in there. That's a quick move from 50 to $1.20. But I would like that action. If you're looking for some risk and volatility, I would trade the strong ones here. Go. We briefly went over that before. I've had that support line marked. Probably this is a better support line down here where it actually sprung it. So, you know, we talked about that holding up really well here when it did that 22. And I would think it's extremely oversold. And a lot of people still like that project.
Go really is relying on, I don't know if you guys have heard of it yet, but it's called Cosmos. This is going to be a new protocol kind of. And they're relying on Cosmos because they've already announced that they will be hard spooning with Cosmos. They will be enabling staking, etc. And they have a lot of developments on the horizon that are kind of relying on Cosmos as far as using Cosmos for their platform and for scaling, etc. And, you know, Cosmos keeps getting delayed as far as the official launch. But they do have a beta going on right now, so hopefully that is coming soon. I wish Niagara Tony was in here.
He just showed up. I was getting ready to say.
There you go. There you go,
He
Tony.
must have something out here when anybody mentions Cosmos. He gets
Cosmos
like an
or
alert.
OMG, and Tony pops in here.
Right.
So if you want to kind of
weird.
explain what's going on with OMG, Cosmos, etc., like you've done it with me in the past, because I know those are the two that you follow almost exclusively, that would be awesome because some people were asking about it.
A little weird.
You say the word Cosmos or OMG, and Tony's like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Right.
I'm here. What do you need?
I'm going to go over to Twitter right now and say Cosmos, see if he shows up there. What the hell?
That's hilarious. The last thing I really had to announce today is that I want to reiterate, we talk about this all the time, but the ZEN supernodes go live in 3 days, guys. If you need help on trying to figure out, you don't want to set it up, you don't want to host it, you don't want to mess with setting up a VPS, etc., if you go over to their website, for the how to set up their nodes, and you go to part 1 right here, you can actually go down to community hosting. If you scroll down, this whole chart right here are all people that will set it up, host it, and maintain it for a monthly charge. If you want to know which one I used, I don't want to influence anybody, but I'll go ahead and highlight it. They got replied to me on a Sunday almost instantaneously. We had 5-6 emails back, and my super node is already up and running within 14 hours. They're also charging $28 per month for a super node, $8 a month for a secure node. No, I don't have a referral link. No, I'm not getting mine for free. But I kind of looked through all these websites. This one seemed like a legit one. And if I know a bunch of you were setting up secure nodes and super nodes and trying to do all the techie stuff yourself. If it's a little overwhelming and you don't want to worry about maintaining it, I would definitely check out a lot of these community members who will do it for you, as they already have servers and data centers, etc., to accommodate the ZEN community. So take a look at that. All right, what do we got? You guys have any more charts, any questions, etc.? If not, we got the guy from EOS waiting to get that interview here. I know you guys want some information on EOS as well as what they are doing, block producers are doing, etc. There goes Tony giving all that information, so make sure to take a look in the chat box. Jay Taylor says, how many ZEN needed for a super node? It is 42 ZEN for a secure node, of which that reward will be 10% of the block reward. And it is 500 ZEN for a super node, which also gets a 10% block reward. You might be like, okay, well, I'll just get this secure node. I'll get a 10% block reward. You have to keep in mind that there will be more secure nodes on the network than super nodes just because of the cost. So obviously super nodes will pay out a higher amount of ZEN. But what is nice, you do get paid on a daily basis for the secure and super nodes. You know how we like passive income here. especially at these price points. If I can accumulate with staking, passive nodes, mining, etc., we are just positioning ourselves that much better when this market turns around.
BCN or OX?
Is that 0x or is that District 0x? Oh, I guess it's District OX.
Yeah, Gary, you can go to bed.
I don't know.
We're done with you.
BCN or OX? Pull up the OX chart, I guess. I haven't looked at that one in forever.
The District?
Yeah. DNT, I think.
DNT?
Yep.
You got it. That's a 15-minute. Hold on. No, that's the 4-hour. This is December. Big sideways since inception.
I mean, I don't really follow either of those projects too well. I don't really hold those projects. If I was choosing between one of those, I think the lower risk coin, I don't know. I think I would probably go with District 0x. I think Bitcoin has proven to have a lot of FUD around it, a lot of volatility. It's already ranked number 24, so maybe your upside is already a little limited as well. But those two I do not follow that much.
What up, Drax? When are you sitting down with Charles?
I have his calendar to schedule the interview with Charles Hoskinson. The problem is I do have to take a day off work. So I'm thinking probably maybe next week if he's available, if he's not out in Singapore, because I know that's coming up soon as well.
So you can't do a 5-hour show then?
I don't have time for 5-hour shows.
Oh,
no.
my God. You're just not serious about this asset class then.
But I will take a day off work to get with Charles Hoskinson. Also, the ETC Cooperative, I will have an interview with them on the Saturday of the July 28th. I have an EOS interview today, and I believe another EOS interview on Thursday. So we got a lot of big name projects starting to come into the fray. We've talked about some of these smaller ones. We've caught gains with those interviews. So I'd definitely make sure to go back, watch the interviews, get a nice inside look into the projects, something that is completely transparent, not just a random YouTuber, Twitter person shilling it, telling you why it's great, but you're actually hearing the words of wisdom from the developers, the communities, the teams with the project. And then you can create your own opinion, which is really going to be really a lot stronger than just listening to random shills and whatever. So that's why I love doing the interviews. I ask the questions, I get the answers that I know you guys are wanting and that I'm wanting as well before I invest any of my money in these projects.
That's about all I got. Been a long day.
That's about it.
Bitcoin 6,700 didn't blow through the highs, so.
Oh, no free course, but make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below with your Zen Cash wallet address, as we will be giving away another Zen Cash for tonight's show. 1 full Zen is awarded to every single winner. So far, we've already given away 7 Zen this month. Congratulations, currently valued at $20 per coin.
Headed to 200. What up, Caroli?
All right.
Taj wants to know why we want to do live interview on weekend, but Charles, he's not available. Is the answer for Charles?
Yeah, Charles is not available on weekends. It's weekdays only, and it has to be before 5 o'clock.
Because Nick will do it whenever.
So, yeah, I'm doing whatever. I really prefer the weekend ones that way, because on weekdays, I work a full job for an institutional financial advisor. Then I come here for YouTube, and then me and Todd do PCG, learn crypto stuff after this. So, I mean, my days are really full unless I do an interview after the show. So, I mean, I prefer the weekends, but he wants his weekends off, which, hey, he's probably developing, etc. That's about it. We had a lot of questions. Good to see that more and more people are watching. More and more people are feeling comfortable asking questions, because that's what we're here to do. And hopefully we can continue to help you. You know, we've been kind of nailing it during this bear market with some coin suggestions, community suggestions, trade ideas, etc. It seems like more and more of you are starting to take that leap of faith into mining and nodes and staking and passive income, which is really where you're going to find success in this ecosystem. That's it. You got anything that people should buy right now? Just Bitcoin? You might as well just buy it. I mean, why not?
Yep, I'd just buy Bitcoin.
Downside risk with the upside potential, I'm a buyer. We'll see you guys later. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrencies right here at Learn Crypto.
Peace out.
Hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck. Everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there. We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.